Hello, everybody, and welcome to Northwest Magic. I'm Levi.
I'm Howie.
And today we are doing a tier list of the new MH3 commanders, the ones that are all revealed. So, this is a pretty unscripted video, just freaking ranking things from S to D. So, yeah. Howie, what do you think about Ashling?
I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, go for it, dude. Do whatever you want.
Ashling Flame Dancer is 2 red for a legendary elemental shaman. You do not lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end, and it has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, discard a card, then draw a card. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, Ashling deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature they control. If it's the third time, add 4 red, and it's a 4/4. I think it's really good. This isn't strictly like a power list. I would say this is like, you know, our opinion, and that's all that matters. That's why you're here for our opinions, right? So anyway, I think this is like fun. This is like
it's
a cool, fun thing.
it's fun. It's like almost it's a different kind of Urabrask
Yeah, I bet it
effect.
looks very similar to an Urabrask, the flip one from March of the Machine.
Yeah.
It, I do like that. If you're storming off, which is clearly what this commander wants to do, if you have no cards in hand, it says discard a card and then draw a card. It doesn't care. It doesn't say if you do. So you'll always draw a card. Like, no matter what, you're going to draw a card.
Yep.
And that's pretty cool. I would say this is an A. It's a really fun card. Seems fun. I don't know. I
I
haven't played
I'd
with it
put that
yet.
at A as well. You're in the scope of mono red here, which is kind of its own little thing here going on, but I think it's great. It'd be a really cool commander to play. And
Yeah.
fun
I would
too.
I would love to see it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to a Johnny Nakatl Pariah. Not I don't know how to pronounce that.
Catman.
Catman. It's legendary creature, cat warrior. When it enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 white cat warrior creature token, and then sorry, whenever one or more other cats you control die, like I just did, you may exile him and then return him as the planeswalker side, and he has a red and white identity there. So his +2 is put a +1/+1 counter on each cat you control. 0, create a 2/1 white cat warrior token. And then when you do, if you control a red permanent other than Johnny, the Nakatl Avenger, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control. Any target, and his -4 is each opponent choose an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, then sacrifices the rest. So he's got a bit of a board wipe on a stick right there. So,
And
yeah.
he starts at 3 loyalty, and that board wipes -4, so
And his only plus is a +2, so he'd actually be sticking around. He'd go down to 1 loyalty as well. So,
yeah, as long as you can
um,
protect him.
yeah,
He's
he's
he's okay.
Boros
He doesn't.
cats.
Boros Cats is weird. We don't have that. Like, he would go in like a Ren and Seri deck, which is a cat and dog deck. But as a commander, he feels kind of awkward. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but he doesn't excite me. There's nothing that cool here, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but I would say C, because he's not bad.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not
not
bad.
bad. He's inoffensive, and I think C is a good spot to put in somebody that's inoffensive.
Yeah, I would like to see somebody brew this up and play it against me, but I just have zero interest in doing it
Yeah,
myself.
like I don't think you'd be mad to be like across the table from it at all. You'd be like, ah, cool, some Boros cats. You'd probably just see some classic Boros good stuff in there, except it's just gonna have a cat flavor on it. I don't see anything too unique going on there. So
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, it's all right. Like, okay. Um,
Aslask.
Aslask, the Swelling Scourge. 3 mana for a colorless Eldrazi. He's at 2/2. He's a little guy. Whenever him, it, or another colorless creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. This is the 5-color experience commander we've been waiting for. I say 5 color because it has an activated ability for Wooburg. Creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is the number of experience counters you have. Scions and spawns you control gain Indestructible and Annihilator 1 until end of turn. I think that this is neat. It's a different take on Eldrazi. I like that. I don't think that there's any actual cards that are Scions or spawns. I think that those are only tokens. Pretty sure. And that's pretty cool. You can go wide, give him Annihilator. You can do a little bit of degenerate stuff for 1 because there's Annihilator, and for 2 you could like Blasphemous Act and then activate the ability in response due to the Indestructible. I say it's powerful, and I like that it's a different take on Eldrazi. What do you think about this guy?
Yeah, I love that it's a different take on Eldrazi. I mean, it's not...
You are the group Eldrazi player after all.
I kind of am, me having a Zuladoc deck and then really liking Ulalek. More to come soon on Ulalek. Azlask is great because Eldrazi don't typically get to go wide, They're mostly a tall strat, so being able to see something go in a different direction like that is really great. And I think they recently just printed like a new card that can go relatively infinite easily with some +1/+1 counters. It's a new green. Well, it's like 1 and a green, and whenever you put a +1/+1 counter on it, you make a Scion. And so if you pair that with something that like maybe puts a counter on something when a creature enters the battlefield, I'll put it up on screen. I don't remember the name of the card. It recently came out.
I don't know if I've seen that, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's an Eldrazi as well, so it can
in the set.
it goes infinite pretty darn quick. Shout out to Veggie. I saw a short of him talking about that.
I don't know who that is. Sounds like a fake YouTuber. Shout out to Veggie.
Shout out to Veggie. But Azlask seems really strong, very strong.
Without the infinites, that's pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of commons and uncommons that are actually feel a little bit stronger than an uncommon that make scions or spawns or whatever. So I think there's definitely enough support for it now with this set.
Yeah, I think with this set taking it to the next level, that's why it does. So it being unique, flavorful, fun, and powerful, my heart, maybe I'm biased here, I want to put it at S, Howie. I think this maybe deserves A, but I want to put it at S.
I want to put it at A, but you can
we'll
make the call.
Put it at A for now, but I'm factoring like fun and uniqueness in as well, not just power. But
okay,
yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's move on to somebody even stronger. Nadu, Winged Wisdom. He is a bird wizard. 1 green and blue, 3/4. Flying. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. But if you got your thinking goggles on, your scrying eyes, you can see that it doesn't care about how many creatures. It's just it's per creature, right? So it's twice per creature. And that's broken. That's incredibly broken.
And it spells or abilities, so
yeah.
The main thing everybody's talking about right now is like Lightning Greaves, because it's a 0 mana. Pop it between a few of your guys and have this trigger like crazy. Even if you just have Nadu, Greaves, and any other creature, that's 4 triggers each turn. If you have, I've been talking about this card all day, actually.
If you have Lightning Greaves in this guy's deck, it's probably the best card in the deck, Lightning Greaves is.
Absolutely. And with landfall creatures, especially Scoot Swarm, where you're making more creatures as you play more lands, this is insane. You can probably play your whole deck fairly easily. I'm not sure if this will be top tier, but I bet this will be a CDH commander, and even not even like in a more casual sense, it's just straight up value, almost all by itself.
Yeah.
I want to put this one at S.
I think it deserves S. You were telling me earlier about the Scoot Swarm strat, and just you have a Scoot Swarm out, and you have at least 4 triggers between Nadu and a Scoot Swarm just to by itself. You can do that 4 times by switching them back and forth. 4 times, you're likely going to hit a land, which means it's going to bring in another creature, which you can start doing that again for. So,
yes,
yeah.
and
also
9
times
we
out of
didn't
10.
mention the blink part, where if
yeah.
you blink Nadu, it resets everybody's this ability on all the creatures. So if you just got a Scoot and Nadu, do it 4 times between the 2 of them, and then somehow don't hit a land, but then blink Nadu, you can do it 4 times between those 2 creatures again. It's just a lot of value.
Nadu is easily one of the strongest commanders to come out of this set.
Oh yeah.
All right. Next we have Kaith. Kaith, famed mechanist.
It's my turn to read the card.
Yeah.
This is the secondary Jeskai commander for the Jeskai energy deck. She's a legendary dwarf artificer, a 3/3 with Fabricate 1, which means when she enters, you either put a +1/+1 counter on her, or create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. Other non-token creatures you control have Fabricate 1, and 2 and tap to choose one. Populate or proliferate. This card is like, I don't know how powerful it's going to be, and I've not read much discussion around this card, but I feel like it's probably got some infinites going on with the populate and the proliferate and the tapping, probably untapping stuff, bouncing, blinking, whatever. I don't know.
With blink
seems
effects,
like interesting
absolutely.
Design space. Seems like an interesting design space. It's maybe it's just not for me. I want to put it at a comfortable B because I feel like it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
But it's just like biasly, unbiasedly, whatever.
Cloudstone Curio would probably probably
oh yeah, that's
the
probably gonna
Goblin.
That's all you had to say.
That's all I had to say. Dockside, yeah, and you could just start going ham.
A Dockside that ETBs and makes a servo with all the treasures. That's actually really good.
Yeah. Yeah. You said B for this. I agree with that. I think it's pretty good. It has some infinite potential, but also can be not too like overbearing.
Either way, it's just
I like
value.
tokens.
And even if you don't lean into the tokens, it is a secondary energy commander, and you can proliferate your own energy counters.
Yeah. I like that.
So
it's you can choose,
Yeah, or maybe you go off the walls and make a weird Jeskai Infect deck. Who knows? Never seen that before, but you could be the first one.
Oh, yeah, see? Yeah, do that. Do some interesting stuff with that, guys. Like, I want to see... Send me a deck list where it's Kaith freaking Infect, man. Kaith Infect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read the next card.
Disa, the Restless. 2, black, red, green. Jund, Human Scout. Whenever a Lurgoyf permanent card is put into your graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, put it on the battlefield. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a Tarmogoyf token.
That's pretty cool.
This one's just solid. She's a 5/6, so she's tough. She's hardy.
Solid stats.
Yeah, and just it's rewarding for getting permanents out of the graveyard putting them into your graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, like discarding and stuff like that. And it's rewarding for attacking. I mean,
yeah,
what more can you want?
You can go wide. You could build this without any of the Lurgoyf permanent cards and just lean straight into the combat damage if you wanted to, and then go even wider with the Tarmogoyf tokens that you're going to make.
Yeah, it's
It's
kind of funny that it doesn't say what the Tamagotchi token, like at least on this copy of the card I'm looking at,
it doesn't ever
it
say
doesn't
it, but
say
the
it. Yeah.
Tarmogoyf token, we should say it is it has a mana cost. It has a 1 and a green for a mana cost, and it is I'm gonna do this based on memory. It's a star and then a star +1, and its power and toughness are each equal to the number of card types among cards in all graveyards, and that sounds right to me.
That does sound right. I mean, you said it with confidence, so I
I
believe it.
did. This it's I've it's crazy how when I started Magic, Tarmogoyf was like $150 for a copy, and it was the king of the modern format. Like most decks ran 4 copies of it, and it was just insane. And now it's fallen off so much that it's become a token.
It's reduced to a token, a mere token of what it used to be.
Yeah, just to go from $600 for a playset to a token. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this is popular, or not popular. I think this is like pretty strong, and you'll feel good playing this, especially if you are a fan of Tarmogoyf and Lurgoyfs. They're also funny to say. Just a fun name.
Goyf. I want to put it at B.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was staring down B, thinking how he's probably
Bisa
gonna.
the best list. She's definitely cool. I like her.
Yeah, she's
a
cool.
little bit too much mana for my tastes, and honestly, if she was at 4, I'd probably think about 8. But oh well, she ain't.
Yeah, I think she'd be bumped up to A if she was 4 mana.
Felia, exuberant shepherd, is 1 and a white for a dog. With Flash, it's a 2/2, and it says whenever it attacks, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent at the beginning of the next end step. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Felia. This card seems almost like a meme. Maybe I'm missing something, but like it's kind of lame. Like as a commander. It's a dog. People love corgis, whatever. Like, that's awesome and all. And it's probably better in the 99. My initial reaction, it's going to blink one thing when it attacks, but it also doesn't have any evasion. Like, it's a dog. It doesn't have flying. It doesn't have menace. It doesn't have a death touch or anything to deter it from getting blocked. And that's a 2/2. I don't feel like that this is going to stick around.
Yeah, that other.
Why does it have Flash? What is this card? I want to put it at a comfortable D for dog.
Yeah, it's I think it's awesome, and if you want to build it, that's great. I think there's cool design space for that, but like if you're looking for more power, then I would just go with I don't know, what's that other white dog that everybody likes? That's kind of just the best one. I don't remember.
Yoshimaru?
Yeah, Yoshimaru.
The partner? Yeah.
That one's
pretty good.
Way better.
it gets big.
He gets
I don't know, if you're leaning to blink, I just don't know why you would pick this.
That in the command zone is just a hard. It's just tough.
Especially if you're going mono white
tough
blink,
sell.
Pick Alishnorn or the Rabbit, Preston, or add colors and go Brago and piss Levi off because he hates that card.
I hate Brago. All my Brago haters, rise up.
Yeah. If you hate Brago, put Levi in the comments. Type
my name.
If you don't hate him, put Howie, because I used to have Brago. He's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to our next one. Eladamri Korvkadal. Why am I getting all the freaking ridiculous names? Korvekdal. It's an elf warrior. I may look at the top. I may look at the top card of my library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library for green and tap. You tap 2 untapped creatures you control, reveal a card from your hand or the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, put it onto the battlefield. Activate only during your turn. Bruh, cheating some creatures out? That's my jam, baby. The fact that
This
you get to
feels
look at the top card at any time, you can cast creature spells from the top of your library too. Like that's already just nice on on a stick there. But the fact that it's just green and tap, well, and then tap 2 untapped creatures. Just cheat out a big boy, whatever you want. A Vorinclex, sure, put him out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Double
Big,
your mana
ass
gen.
Eldrazi
Not that you'll
creature,
need it because you're just cheating other things out.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Yeah, I think this
card
card is
feels
very strong. It's very green.
It
I
feels
like green.
like, and not in the same sense of like the effects it does, but it feels like the green Urza or Yawgmoth, where it's like, this does what the green deck wants to do, and it does it very well at an aggressive cost. This is only 3 mana.
Yeah.
Like, and it's also, it's very good. I would put it at A.
Yeah, it's very strong. I could see it being like top of casual.
The only reason I'm not putting it at S is that I don't think there's going to be like,
I don't know if
they're
it can...
all going to look the same. It's like, well, I'm going to play a few elves, and now I've got some Eldrazi, or I got Blightsteel Colossus, or whatever.
Yeah, just
nothing
all the
wrong
big
with that,
stuff.
but it just,
Yeah, it's just going to be big, stompy, like just big.
Yeah,
big
which
beaters.
is good. It's powerful. It's just not tickling my S tier ranking.
Yeah, sometimes it's just not enough.
Emrakul.
Howie, I want you to read Emrakul, bro. I want you to.
The World Anew, 12 mana for a 12/12 Eldrazi. She says when you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Flying, protection from spells and from permanents that were cast this turn. That's very powerful. And when Emrakul, the World Anew, leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. And then that last part is actually not
Madness
as bad as it sounds. It's not as bad as it sounds. Oh, also it has Madness, pay 6 colorless mana.
I thought that's actually what you were talking about, the Madness pay 6. I thought that's what you were talking about. Like, it's not that bad.
No, I'm talking about the sack all creatures you control.
Well,
in the command zone, you're never gonna do them. I don't even know if you could do the Madness part if she's in the command zone. Like, you'd have to get her out of the command zone, into your graveyard, back to your hand. I'm not sure how many colorless cards can put non-artifact cards back into your hand from the graveyard, but that's not likely to happen.
This is a strong card. I think it's a tough sell being in the command zone itself. You're limiting yourself quite a bit, and it's just 12. It's just 12 mana. Yeah, you could build a colorless deck that ramps really hard or whatever, but in the command zone itself, a little bit of a tough sell for me.
I would say D or C. You can make the call in there. Maybe C, because it's definitely better.
I think it's better than
the dog. Like, you're going to ramp into this, and like whenever you cast it, it's going to be a big deal. It's got very good protection. It steals somebody's entire board. It's going to feel more better in the 99 for sure. Like, when you don't know it's coming and you say, I cast Emrakul, the World Anew, that's a big deal.
Like, uh-oh.
But it almost feels like a Toxrill kind of card, where, shout out to our one patron, Dom King. You didn't think I was going to say that. Anyway.
I think it's King Dom. But
King Dom.
Shout out to our patron, King Dom.
Anyway, like, you're not going to build a gigantic board state without winning the game if you're my opponent and you see Emrakul in my command zone. You know what I mean? Like, your opponents can play around this, and even at 12 mana and colorless, like, what's the earliest you're going to get this out? Like, turn 5? If you have a really, really good aggressive ramp package, and like maybe the perfect scenario, maybe turn 6 is a better
Yeah, maybe you ended
Better
up
call.
getting some cost reducers in there. Eye of Ugin, uh, Urza's
Yeah, it's a C.
Incubator.
It's a C.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a C. C in the
You want to
command zone.
read the Planeswalker?
Yeah, good old Soren, man. I remember you talking about him earlier today, how he's just black, white, the card.
Yeah, basically.
You know,
That's more or less what I said.
he's the House of Markov. He looks very anime-like in this one. One in a black, legendary creature, human noble, lifelink. He has Extort, which, I like Extort. I think that's cool. However, I can't put him in my Keurig deck though, or else there'd be a chance I'd actually put him in there. Anyway, at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, you exile him, then return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. And then he also has Extort when he's all in vampire mode. He becomes Soren Ravenous Neonate. That's a funny name. +2 to create a food token, whatever.
Weird.
Soren Ravenous Neonate deals damage equal to the amount of life you gain this turn to any target. And then gain control of target creature. It becomes a vampire in addition to its other types. Put a lifelink counter on it if you control a white permanent other than that creature or Soren. So
I mean, it's alright.
yeah,
I do love the Extort, and I do think
Extort?
this would be better in the 99.
he would be better in the 99. Having Extort just in the command zone is pretty dope, though.
I don't think there's another legendary Extort creature.
I don't believe there is either.
Not
and you
sure.
could put, I mean, there's not that many Extort creatures, but you could put, like, all of them in this deck. I think it'd work well.
I think you could put them all in the deck.
There's not very many. There's, like,
no
10?
probably like 12.
10 or 12?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And yeah, maybe something like that. But I think they're all in the Orzhov colors. This is an Orzhov card because the back it's got the little indicator.
The indicator,
But,
black and white.
It's cool. I like it a lot. I would say C or B. Like it would be high C or low B. It's good. It's good. It's not like
think I'll put him in B because I could see a deck like it would look still kind of like a generic Orzhov deck, yes, but I think it would hang. It would hang. I'll put it at B. It'd be a lower B, but yeah.
I like that in Commander. If you extort one spell, he flips.
Yeah, that's it in Commander. That's all it takes. So he flips pretty fast. It looks like when they designed these, a lot of these are made to flip pretty much probably the same turn almost. You play them unless you play them like early or something, but you can flip them easily. I like that. All right, talk about the bug.
Trying to find it. Grist.
Grist.
Voracious larva. But I don't know what the order you
He's a
put these in.
baby.
At first, I thought it was alphabetical, and I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it. Don't tell me. I don't care. But I had to search for the card real quick. It's
I don't know.
Voracious larva. He costs green for a 1/2 with Death Touch. That's a good rate. That's a pretty good rate right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from your graveyard or you cast it from your graveyard, you may pay green. If you do, exile Grist, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, and it transforms into the Golgari Grist, the Plague Swarm. It's a legendary Planeswalker Grist.
Very
Plus
cool
one
art.
created. It has cool art. It's like floating buggy man.
Yeah.
With scythe crab arms.
Scyther arms from that Pokemon.
Yeah,
he turns
probably
into
doesn't
Scyther.
smell very good.
Oh, he probably does not. He probably smells like the
probably a lot of iron.
I'm thinking who's in Baldur's Gate, the old shapeshifter lady. What's her name?
Orin.
Yeah, Probably smells like her
Or
swamp in
you.
Baldur's Gate.
Oh, you mean the
The
hag?
hag. Yeah, it's just the hag.
Ethel.
Yeah.
+1. Create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token. Then mill 2 cards. Put a death touch counter on the token if a black card was milled this way.
Nice.
That's not going to be hard to track in like real life on paper when you're putting a bunch of little tokens on a bunch of your or
On your
counters
tokens.
on your tokens.
Counters on your tokens.
Yeah, that's why I don't play cards like Cathar's Crusade, even though they're good. Anyway, -2, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and then -6 for each creature card in your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it is a 1/1 black and green insect. That's cool. I feel like we have a theme here where I want to put all the Planeswalker cards kind of in the B or C range. Like, this is definitely cool. I could see it. It's a little slow. Like, you got to do. Maybe it's not that much effort with the right hand, but sometimes I feel like you won't be able to flip this as good as you want to.
He at least gives himself protection with those little death touch boys, you know? People are at least not going to want to attack Grist with those.
Yeah.
Typically.
It takes you a long time to...
It takes you a while.
Ultimate. The ultimate's super cool, but like, I can't judge it based off its ultimate if it's that hard to reach. You are in Golgari, so if you have
you could proliferate.
Doubling season,
yeah,
you could do it right away. But then I don't know.
There's proliferate.
I would say
cards
C.
too.
Like, it's cool.
Yeah, that's a C as well.
It's not that cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we're wrong. Maybe there's some crazy combo we're not seeing that is just insane with these things, but I don't know. I don't see it.
Honestly, I doubt it for this one. I don't think that it's got any cool combos. It's like, it feels like if you're playing Golgari, why is this one in your command zone? Unless you really are a fan of the character.
You're a Grist fan. Grist fans, rise up. Ganku, Future Shaper. 2, an Azorius, legendary creature, Moonfolk Wizard. That's just cool. Whenever another non-token permanent you control leaves the battlefield, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Create a creature token with those characteristics. A 2/2 white fox with vigilance, a 1/2 blue moonfolk with flying, a 1/1 black rat with lifelink, and then for 3 in Azorius, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. That's kind of a interesting just little tack on there that I think it's just kind of interesting that it's there.
Yeah,
but
you kind of want to go wide, and then you can...
It's cool that he has that built in.
Into it. It's also at instant speed, so in Azorius, it's control colors. You can build your board up, hold up a counter spell, and if nothing bad is there to counter, then just...
What I do like about this is that, yeah, it's in Azorius. It does remind me of Preston a little bit. It's, Preston does a somewhat kind of similar thing by making a token that is like a version of the thing you blinked, right? It like makes a copy.
Yeah, this one doesn't make copies, but
this doesn't make a copy, but it makes like a creature that has the characteristics of the thing that you blinked.
No.
Oh no! I'm misreading
this.
Make
one of the tokens.
I'm misreading this. It's just literally
that would
it's
be
just
way
literally
better.
making a 2/2 white fox with vigilance or a 1/2 moonfolk.
Yeah,
never mind. I misread this.
Would be like, I would call that an easy yes or A.
Yeah, I don't know. I was
neat.
like, man, this seems pretty damn good. I was like, God dang. No. Oh, okay. It just makes. Okay, you're getting.
It's a little blinky and probably going to be like most cards in these sort of colors that make tokens in the command zone. It's probably going to end up being
it's like Raynar.
Kind of
it's
thing.
almost like Raynar. That's what he's like, honestly.
Yeah.
Except it's just with a little more. It's not just spirits. It's foxes, moonfolks, and rats.
It also has a limit on it because you can only make one of each of those things.
Yeah.
Unless
the limiter on it and everything.
Unless you blink it, which is definitely possible considering this is probably going to be a blink-ish style deck. Definitely cool if you hate my boy Brago like Levi does, and you don't want to piss off your play group, I guess, then I don't know. This is probably a nicer option for a similar sort of strat.
Yeah, I think this could be solid, but I don't know if it's A. I'd put this at B.
I wouldn't even have considered it for A.
I think he's better than Grist.
Yeah, but Chris is C.
Yeah.
I'm saying I wouldn't have said A. I thought you said A. Maybe I missed it.
No, I said B. Well, I said B. At least I thought I did.
B. I thought
Maybe
you
I
said
didn't.
A. I was like, no, I wouldn't even.
No, B. Yeah, I think he's B.
Misunderstood you. Okay.
Genku. Oh, here's your boy.
Am I gonna read all the Eldrazi today?
Maybe.
Paragast, Erupting Nullkite. 9 mana for an Eldrazi Dragon. We don't have one of those. It's a 6/6. It has Emerge for 6 red. This is actually a red card, spoilers. It's colorless, but it's got a red identity. Emerges, you may cast this spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the Emerge cost, reduced by that creature's mana value. So you could probably play this a lot earlier than a lot of things. At 9 mana, you just play like a 4 mana creature, and next turn this card costs 4 less. When you cast this spell, you may exile your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards, and then it has flying. Feels weird to see flying so low on the card. It makes sense, but it's kind of weird. Each creature spell you cast has Emerge. The Emerge cost is equal to its mana cost. So it's a big card that lets you play big cards for cheaper. Another big, tall card. I like it. I think that this card is neat.
Yeah, he's a snowballer.
I don't think it's crazy. Too crazy, I guess what I'm trying to say. It is a snowball-y kind of effect.
Yeah, and I like that.
At one point, your snowball is going to start staying the same size because
there's only so much snow
to make the new thing. But also, he's fun. I want to put him at B.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd put him at B. He's
cool.
With his current colors, he could still be shut down, and his game plan can be ruined. But if he does the thing, it's fun and it's powerful, and I think that's a good spot for B.
Yeah, he feels like maybe the most. This is going to be a weird sentence, but maybe the most casual Eldrazi commander, because it is kind of fair. You see it coming, and you're not like just directly putting Eldrazi into play. You're just reducing their costs by a lot.
Yep.
But you also need him to be out to do that. I don't know. He seems fun.
Yeah.
And him not just being colorless is cool too. He's the only, built-in mono red Eldrazi.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have Devoid. He's just straight up has
he's
red.
Colorless.
I guess
but his identity is red.
True. Okay. Let's talk about it's the Magic card version of you.
Yeah, he kind of looks like me.
He kind of when you wear a beanie.
I love telling people on what are we doing right now on our YouTube videos. So like the comments that I read. I went to a discussion thread about this card, and the top comment was, "This guy looks like every guy in Portland." And that's like almost where we live. It's correct.
Yeah, and that's where. Yeah, we're in Portland, so that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Satya, Aetherflux Genius. 1 blue, red, white, Human Artificer, Menace Haste. When it attacks, you create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of up to 1 other target non-token creature you control. You get 2 energy, and then at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice that token unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value. Energy Commander, I like that it gives you 2 energy, and if you just, and it's a sacrifice too, right? So, it can get a dies trigger if you have something that has a cool dies trigger or something like that, And you can save your energy, or keep it, if you want to keep it with your energy. Has haste. I like it with haste. And menace.
You could just make a copy of Dockside.
Yeah, you could literally just do that. Who cares?
There's a lot of good ETBs in these colors, and I'm kind of intrigued because of all the energy support
Yeah, there's more energy support now.
As of right now, we don't know. I don't know if we know any cards in the energy precon, but there's a lot in the main set that are being spoiled, along with whatever we have from Kaladesh and Aether Revolt and the Fallout set.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting more and more support, especially in these colors. I think that this card is neat. I kind of wish like I could build a time machine and go back and show this card to somebody in like 95. Their heads would explode.
They would be like, it has menace and haste, and you get this energy. Yeah,
Bro, if you showed this
crazy.
card to somebody in 95 and it didn't have the paragraph ability, if it was just a 4-mana 3/5 with menace and haste, they would lose their minds.
Yeah, that's all it would take.
That's all it would take. But
Yeah,
then it has all. Back in the day, you'd pay like 6 mana for a 3/5 with no abilities.
Yeah, sometimes it even hurt you in some way.
Oh yeah, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifices a creature.
Yeah, so this one's kind of hard to tell because we don't know quite everything about the energy. As of recording of this video right now, we don't know absolutely everything about all the energy cards, but we do know that there is some more support coming. And just later down the line too, I'm sure more energy is going to come. So I think it's a pretty solid. I don't know. I'd honestly almost.
I'd
honestly
say
put this at B
with the potential for A.
Yeah, I could see this actually getting pretty strong. This one's kind of a hard one to put.
I mean, I think it's a B, even if you don't lean into energy at all. Like if you just make tapped and attacking tokens that are copies, like
with built-in evasion like that, and a commander that has to attack.
That's cool.
With built-in evasion is always solid in my opinion.
Yeah, and like I want to do like dumb thing. Like whenever I see a commander with blue in it and triggers, I just think, well, what happens if I make a copy of this with Spark Double or Sakashima? Now I'm doing this multiple times a turn.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is it. I think he's neat, and I think that he has the potential for A, but we're gonna put him at B.
Yeah,
I am gonna read all the Eldrazi today.
You might actually.
Kozilek, the Broken Reality, 9 mana. He is an Eldrazi, as I said before. He is a 9/9. When you cast this spell, up to 2 target players each manifest 2 cards from their hands. For each card manifested this way, you draw a card. To manifest a card, put it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature. Turn it face up at any time for its mana cost if it's a creature card. Other colorless creatures you control get +3/+2. He's neat. I would never recommend anybody play this in the command zone.
No, yeah, in the command zone, he's another tough sell. I think you put it really well when you said that this was...
Hello?
This is relatively powerful, but it's not flashy, even though it's something that is pretty strong. When you mentioned that this is not a super flashy ability, but it is still really powerful.
I think it's cool in the 90s.
Yeah, when you choose yourself, your 2/2s are, effectively 5/4s.
Yeah,
and that's pretty nice. And he's a 9/9 himself, so...
Yeah, he puts... If you choose yourself with the manifest, he puts 19 power on the board. That's cool, but none of it has trample, but also, at least 19 power if you have other colorless creatures already around. And, kind of like we mentioned with Azlask, there is a lot of Scion support, so, I mean, your little dumb 0/1s turn into 3/3s.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. With Annihilator 1, if you have Azlag doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that.
He's not somebody to put in the commander, though, or the command zone.
D.
I wouldn't, yeah, D. He's great. He's cool. I'd put him in 99, not a commander.
Yeah. I think that there's, even after this set, I think there's only one other colorless creature in Legendary that we're going to go through later, but I don't think that there's more than 3 total colorless commanders that are even worth.
Yeah, there just really isn't.
Maybe that's just my opinion. I'll let you decide which 3 those are, but yeah, there's 6 or 7 Eldrazi Titans that are they're cool. They're not worth it in the command zone at this point.
Yeah, they just can't. Yeah. All right, we've got Imsker, Iron Eater. He's 6, black and a red. Affinity for artifacts, though. That's awesome. When he enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is half the number of artifacts you control,
Gotta go.
rounded down. Okay, goodbye. Who are we talking about again? Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Read MH3. Or
Imsker, that's who it
did you already
was.
finish that one?
I'm gonna possibly repeat it because I'm not 100% sure what I was even talking
Go.
about. Yeah, he has affinity for artifacts, black and a red, black and a red. Imsker Iron Eater.
Black and a red.
Black and a red, 6 black and a red.
Affinity for black and a red.
When he enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is half the number of artifacts you control rounded down. And then he has like a 3 and a red, sacrifice an artifact. Imsker deals damage equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value to any target. That's kind of cool that it's any target. But it is, it's like 3 in red. Maybe you can make that cheaper with something. Maybe there's some kind of artifacts there. I don't know. It's alright. It's very.
You know what's crazy? You ever heard of Bosch Iron Golem?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't quite remember.
You've probably seen him. He's in the Hogsmeade Precon, I think. He's a colorless legendary artifact creature, but he has a red ability, and it is the exact same ability.
Oh, so he's just Imsker's basically a reprint.
Yeah, but he's better.
I don't
Bosch
think
Bosch is a 6/7 with trample, but who's this guy? Imsker. He's got this affinity for artifacts built in, and the draw cards, which is really cool too. This card doesn't super excite me. I'm sure it could like put in work if you really worked with it, but I don't care much for it. I would say it's maybe like a C.
Yeah, it's not
D. I bet
it's
someone
not
could
D.
build it. I bet someone could build it as a B, but I don't care for him.
Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of personal opinion in there. Who really knows?
It's our list. I can do what I want.
You sure can, Howie. You sure can.
That's just life, my guy.
All right, enough about that guy. What do we got next?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at your tier list, and it's quite small on my screen. No, it's not your fault. I think it's Geode. Is that who that is?
Geode.
Moag Ancient.
Yeah.
It's 4 mana, 2 and a green and a blue for a 2/4 elemental. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green forest dryad land creature token for each time you cast your commander from the command zone this game. At the beginning of each combat, land creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is this creature's power. I think it's super cool. I don't think it's like broken. It's not busted, and you got to work for it. Like, I like that it's an ETB effect instead of a cast trigger, so you can blink them, and it'll still make stuff depending on how many times you've cast it from the command zone. It's pretty cool. I would say B. I'm brewing up a list myself right now of them. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pull the trigger and like buy the cards for real life, but it's cool. I like it a lot.
I think he has a nice, honest approach to it. Like he can get pretty scary and have a pretty wide board presence, and then with all of them getting +X, where X is his power, you can, you build the board nice, and you do some simic things and all that sort of stuff with him. So
I think that last ability really brings it together because, like, it's almost sort of like a built-in Craterhoof style effect. Sort of. If you could, like, in the list I was brewing, I put in, I can't remember what his name, but he's the mono green partner human, Heart of Krosa or Fist of Krosa. Whatever. But at the beginning of combat on your turn, he gives all your creatures +3/+3. So he'll give your land creatures +3 and Geode +3, and then you let Geode resolve, and then all your stuff gets plus.
Oh yeah,
+5
or something. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't think that's his name.
It's not his name, but I know who you're talking. Heart of Krosa.
So your creatures end up getting like +8 because of him or something.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
That's pretty cool. It's just like building up the forest dryads. So it's a little bit of a build around. You gotta play him. Are you trying to put him at A?
I don't
I
remember
like
what we
him.
said. What did we say?
I said B. Like, biasly, I would want to put him at A because he's very interesting to
He's
me.
interesting, and I feel
But
like he could be
but
pretty strong and hang with these guys with at
he
A. He
he could.
absolutely could.
I feel like he's high B because he's very
He is high
interesting,
B.
but you do have to work for him. It's not like he just intrinsically has all the value. You gotta
Yeah,
play a
like
lot of cards.
this dude ain't winning on turn 3 or 4 or whatever.
No,
Like
no,
he
I'd
just
say B.
isn't. High B. I'll put him in front of whatever the heck that lady is again. I forgot her name.
Kate, famed mechanist, one and a Jess guy. Just kidding. Not gonna read.
No, we already talked about it.
Okay,
Okay,
talk
this is
about,
everybody's
the
favorite
king.
bear right now. It's getting a lot of buzz. Kudo, king among bears. Green and the white. Other creatures have base power and toughness 2/2 and are bears in addition to their other types. Read that again if you didn't understand what I said. All creatures, so every other creature on the battlefield just is a 2/2 now and a bear. So there's a few things you can do with it. The really common thing is like as old classic Elishnor and just give everybody -2/-2 and all your things get +2/+2. Basically, people don't get creatures. That's the mean route. There's a few other things you can do with this. I'm sure you can do some politics stuff. I haven't looked too hard into this guy, to be honest. Like what some like interesting interactions can be. But I'm sure you can do some jank fun stuff with it. But
There's the queen bear from Modern Horizons 1, Agula.
mm-hmm.
Whenever another bear ETBs, you can either put 2+1 counters on a bear, or a bear you control fights a creature you don't control. In this case, a bear you don't control.
In this case,
So
a bear you don't control.
yeah, so that's kind of cool. I'm not sure how many real interactions this guy has. I mean, it brings the playing field a little even, and I do like even if it's very small. If you like play Scoot Swarm, right, then all your scoots are 2/2s. So it's a small pump, but that might be all that matters. Even if everything you have and your opponents have are 2/2s, if you have 300 2/2s, that's better than your opponent's 6 2/2s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it feels like the boring, not the boring, but like the classic way to do this is you're leveling everybody else out, but you're trying to benefit the best out of it. So maybe you have some bear anthems that other people don't have for just your bears. Don't play Coat of Arms, please. I think that'd be pretty funny, though.
Oh, damn.
That'd be pretty funny.
No one would want to swing because they want to keep all their blockers up.
They just want to keep all their huge bears.
That's a cool interaction. I didn't think about that anyway. But, I mean, if you make everything a 2/2 and then just have any +1/+1 at least anthem, you're already
ahead of everybody else's bears.
Yeah.
You know, if you do play Coat of Arms.
Put him in B for bear.
B for bear. I am very okay with B for Kudo.
He's alright. He's alright.
Alright, what's the next? The Necro Bloom. That's right. You knew that from a mile away.
Yeah, I could see it from there. He's real small. 1 white, black, and a green. 4 mana for a 2/7 legendary plant. With landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 0/1 green plant creature token. If you control 7 or more lands with different names, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. Land cards in your graveyard have Dredge 2, which means you can return a land from your graveyard to your hand instead of drawing and mill 2 cards instead.
Gosh, that part right there is pretty gross.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of familiar territory with like he's a landfall kind of thing. You want to deal with a lot of lands, but like I'm not sure. I don't think there's another landfall commander that makes creature tokens on landfall. Oh, I think there's at least one, the Maja Rediguard Protector, but she's lame card.
Lame.
The dredge is super cool though, and there's a lot of neat interactions. There's that new card who is also on this list to be seen soon, 6, with the retrace and the dredge. You kind of have a little engine going by just those. Yeah, I think this card's sick.
Yeah, it's a bit of an engine already by itself. It just kind of gets your game plan started, and you can just keep it going. It's an interesting card, you know. We like to see it.
I don't know if it's definitely not as powerful as Nadu, but I want to put this at S. It's definitely A
It's
or
a
S.
low
I think it's
S.
because it's like it's so cool. Do you
Yeah,
think it's a reference to Plants vs Zombies?
It
Because
kind of looks like
it makes plants and zombies.
you know, it really does do both of those things.
It does.
You're absolutely right.
You remember when you dredged 2 in that game? Yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot.
Dredge is pretty cool. I don't think. I mean, I'm not like a crazy. I haven't been playing Magic forever or anything, but I don't even know if I've really played with that Dredge at all. Like in general, even with other opponents, you don't see it too crazy often.
No, I want to say that there's like 2 Dredge cards that even see a small amount of Commander play, and they're because of how many cards are in the format. There's just not that much. Yeah. You see Dredge more in 60 card formats. I think there's a Legacy deck. I think I was telling you about this where it's like, just there's no mana, no lands, but it's like a 60 card Legacy Dredge deck that wins somehow. I don't know all the details, but it's kind of neat. Maybe it's not. What? Is that Dredge? I don't know. Either way. Dredge is around in like the 60 card formats a little bit.
What a wonderful couple of sentences you blessed us
all with. That was awful.
That was useful information for all of us.
Can you please cut that?
No,
I think the Necrobloom is sick. And I don't think I'm going to physically build it again, but I love lands.
Yeah, tinkering around at least.
I feel like when I build my decks, it's a little different than most people. I feel maybe not, but I feel like most people like
he's a not like other girls kind of not like other girls.
Most people, I from what I understand, based on what I see, they build their deck and they like have like 130 cards, and then they go down. Usually, I'm like, how do I get to 100? Like this card isn't good enough. But like I built a Necrobloom list, and I think I hit 125 cards, and I didn't know what to cut.
It's like, what do I cut here? It's all so good.
And I do like that, because then that means that if you do see Necrobloom a lot, which I think we will, I feel like this will be one of the more popular commanders in the set. That's not an Eldrazi. I think that it will be there will be a variety, and it won't be the same thing every time. Which, yeah. Let's keep it at S. That feels good.
Yeah, I think he can. He'll be great. He'll be good. Okay, we're talking about Omo, Queen of Vesuva. It's 2 and a hybrid green-blue. We like to see it. We like to see more hybrids in there. Whenever Omo, Queen of Vesuva enters battlefield or attacks, put an everything counter on each of up to 1 target land and up to 1 target creature. Each land with an everything counter on it is every land type in addition to its other types. Each non-land creature with an everything counter on it is every creature type. I think this is like one of those commanders that is definitely designed to just be... I mean, this sounds pretty obvious, but it's designed to be flexible, and you can do a lot with it. I don't know if I personally really love it. It's kind of... What you'd be putting in the command zone is basically just like a green-blue thing that allows you to play green-blue stuff.
Yeah. But, I mean, one thing that's cool is you can build it... Jesus. You can play everything tribal. Like it's on the counter, everything counter.
Everything
but you can be
tribal.
You can
get the best of the best out of whatever you want.
You can play the Kopala, Warden of Waves, and give all your merfolk essentially Ward 2. and putting everything counter on all your
Yeah.
stuff so that it's all merfolk, you know what I mean?
I'm interested in some of the land stuff. Maybe there isn't a whole lot, and maybe I'm just overthinking it, but there's probably some cool land stuff you can do with this as well.
Oh, there
Not
absolutely is. I mean, it's not like you'd
just
have
having a
to
bunch of
work
land
through it
types, like all of
through
them.
the game, but Urza's is a land type. So if you play,
Yeah.
the precon that this comes in actually has all 3 Urza lands. If you have any Urza land out and you put an everything counter on it, it automatically meets its requirements for having all 3 out because you will control a tower, a power plant, and a mine.
Yeah, that's just one example.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Like if you
there's
get,
probably
I can't
some
remember what
desert
3
stuff.
mana, but oh yeah,
Might be some cool desert stuff if you really want to do Simic desert stuff.
yeah, it's flexible and I like it, but I also think like it's not for me. So I'll put it a B.
Yeah, I think
down
you
the
and I
middle.
both are similar that we prefer a more focused approach to things. Not to say this is bad by any means. I bet you never know. Maybe I'll sit across from an Omo deck at one point and be like pleasantly surprised by it.
I think we will. I think that this card will be maybe not as popular as other commanders, but I mean it's a precon. I think we'll see it and we'll probably be. You're right.
You'll be like, dang,
We'll be
didn't think
surprised.
about that. I think it opens up for creativity.
Wow, Omo Eldrazi, that's great.
What next? We have
Pearl Ear,
Pearl
Imperial
Ear.
Advisor. 3 mana, it's 1 white for a Fox Advisor. Legendary creature with lifelink. It's a 3/4. Enchantment spells you cast have affinity for auras. Whenever you cast an aura spell that targets a modified permanent you control, draw a card. This is cool as heck. I like it a lot. I feel like it's the more fair version of what's the
Light
is it Light Paws?
Yeah, Light Paws. Yeah, Light Paws is gross.
You still get the card advantage with the drawing cards, and it makes your stuff cheaper, which is like 2 out of 3 or 4 things you want to see on your commander. Basically, always the card advantage and the mana either reduction or
Yeah, it's
production.
Both. It's a triple threat, really.
Yeah, and it's got lifelink, so you can definitely lean into that. It's a super neat card. I don't like it enough to put it at A. I would put it at B.
Yeah,
I think it's super cool.
This is one that's
don't want
really
to build
good,
it, but I want to see it
in the command zone or in the 99. Like, if you're an aura deck, you're gonna have Pearl Ear in it. Like,
yeah,
you're just going to. This is just one of those auto includes at this point. So
it's an engine all by itself, and I
engine
like
all
it.
by itself. You said B?
Yeah,
or A? Oh, B.
I'd say B.
Yeah, I think he's better than some of them. Some of these people.
Yeah, I'd say high B.
He's high B. He might be the highest B.
I don't care about the order. I'm just saying.
There's not really much of an order here. I have mostly these two I've been paying attention to, and the rest are in some nondescript order. So,
read
Flage,
the Boros man.
Flage, Titan of Fire's Fury. Gosh, that one's kind of hard to say. 1 red and a white. It's an Elder Giant. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it escaped. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, it deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. And then it has escape, red, white. Exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. And you put them on the battlefield. So one thing about escape is that it kind of gets around commander tax a little bit, but you do have to get your commander into the graveyard, so you're probably going to want to cast him out there, sack him, put him in the graveyard, escape him next turn or something.
I mean, at least when he enters, before he gets sacrificed, his trigger does go off. Yeah. You do the 3 damage.
Yeah, 3 damage. You can kill anything good. You can kill somebody.
When I saw this, I was a little excited. I was like, how can I abuse this? And in Boros, not much.
You can't kill Brago with this, so bad card.
You still can you can play around with its ability a little bit. It's low tier, I would say. I haven't played with it, but White has a lot of the bring 3 mana value or less back, and he's 3 mana. So that's kind of cool. I definitely think he's on the jankier side of things. He's not as cool as I want him to be. Not as good as Uro or Croxa, which is also funny considering they were in a standard set and this is supposed to be a high-powered modern set.
It'd be kind of cool if you could find a way to just like flicker him just over and over and over again. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what makes Uro and Croxa cool, because like with this one too, you can respond to the sacrifice trigger. So like in Uro, you can have Greater Good out, and you can, when the sacrifice trigger is on the stack, you just sacrifice him to Greater Good and draw 6. Or with Croxa, I think I'm saying his name different every time. You can sacrifice him. You can sacrifice him, and then, but before he gets sacrificed, you have one of those 1 mana bring something back that you're familiar with in your Yardle deck. But this one isn't a
Cloudstone Curio. You might be able to find something with that in here
if you got Flash.
Maybe,
maybe I don't know. I'd say C. He's not that.
Yeah, he's just a little jank. Like, I think he can.
He's pretty.
He can
jank.
do some cool stuff, but yeah, he's just a little too jank.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Yeah. If you ever see us, bring a Flage deck and murder me, please.
Yeah.
It's my turn to read a card.
Yeah. Oh, it's Ral. Oh, sorry. I stole your thunder.
I don't want to play anymore. All right. He's another Flipwalker, Ral. Monsoon Mage. I don't know why that happened.
Whoa.
1 and a red for a human wizard. I love when there are wizards in the command zone. You know, I don't even need to read the rest of the card. You got to put Harmonic Prodigy in here.
Yeah.
1 and a 3. That's his power toughness. He's a instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell during your turn, flip a coin. If you use the flip, he deals 1 damage to you. If you win the flip, you may exile him and transform him. On the back, he is an Izzet card, so this is an Izzet commander. He enters the battlefield with an additional loyalty counter on him for each instant and sorcery spell you've cast each turn. He's got 2 built in. Really, you have to cast at least 1 to flip him, so he's kind of 3. +1 until your next turn. Instants and sorceries costs 1 less to cast. -2, he deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Draw a card if you control a blue permanent other than him. And -8, exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may cast instant and sorcery spells from among them this turn without paying their mana costs. One thing I want to note, and I believe this is the truth, out of all 5, I think there's 5 Flipwalkers in this set. This is the only one where you do not have to flip him when you meet his requirements. He has a May ability.
He's the only one with a May.
I believe all other ones are kind of forced to flip, which sometimes you won't want to, and especially with Ral, because you might want to be able to storm off, get like 8 cantrips going on, and then you flip him, and then exile the top 8. No problem, because he comes in with that many counters and still has 2 left over. This is a sick commander. Honestly, I want to put him at S tier. I think he's super neat. He's just very well designed in himself. Everything he does works with himself. He's freaking cool, man. If I didn't already have like an Izzet problem, I would probably build him. I'd end up building him anyway.
He's cool. No, I think he's really cool. He's a good excuse to actually get Planeswalker into the command zone. I think they're doing a good job with Planeswalkers as of more recently too, with their design. When it comes to Commander, because like it's just they're hard to balance around Commander. Let's be real, but this one's kind of cool.
I don't agree with you about that statement, but that's okay.
Oh, that they're better, or they're not getting better.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't have
Dahada
in front of me,
with
but
Dahada, I think Dahada's cool. I think he's cool.
Dahada is pretty cool, but yeah,
that's my only. That's all I got.
I only have those 2 we gotta start somewhere. Two's a good start. I want to put him in S tier. I think he's sick.
Yeah. I think
If
your is it
you
bias definitely is shining through here. But I do think he's pretty dang good.
if you disagree, we can put him at A, and that's fine.
Let's choose among one here. I do really like that he's got the one less to cast just by himself, and then all that. I mean, I'll put him at S. I'm
Okay.
okay with it.
And I think that Tavern Scoundrel is the best card in the deck if you build this deck. Having the cost reduction with your commander, and then if you win the flip, getting 2 treasures off of that just because you flipped a coin, that's amazing. Sick.
That's pretty good. Okay, here's something here. I don't some other giant ugly Rasheen Roaring Prophet, 2 red and a green. When it enters the battlefield, mill 6 cards. You may put a card with X in its mana cost from among them into your hand. And then you can tap to reveal any number of cards with X in their mana cost in your hand. And then you add colorless for each card revealed this way. Spend this mana only on costs that contain X. It was kind of funny when you compared this to Metalworker.
It's Metalworker, straight but up for is. X spells.
That's just Metalworker.
Sometimes they look at old cards and they say, how can we replace one word and make this a commander?
They're just like, X spells, I guess.
Yeah. It's a little boring to me. I mean...
Well, and it is the same, but it's not quite as, like... It's still impactful, don't get me wrong. But, you know, when you're playing X spells... It's nice to get, you know, maybe you'll get 4 mana if you got 2 X spells, 4 extra mana. That's pretty good, you know, for whatever you're doing.
Yeah. I feel like the deck is just going to be Hydras and Burn, right?
Yeah.
What else is in Gruul?
You're not going to see a whole lot of different things to come out of this.
I wish it was Jund or Teamer.
It'd be nice to see an extra color here.
Even white, like any other third color I would bump this up a tier, but as it stands, I want it to be
C.
Yeah, it's not on fucking dog level.
It's not on dog level, and maybe
I like that dog was early because it really set the tier of trash to me.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah, I hate that thing.
The tier
I
of
don't remember
trash.
What it does. Don't tell me.
It does nothing, actually. It should just be.
Do you want to move on to the next commander?
6.
I mean, it's my turn to read, but it's 6. And it surprisingly costs 3 mana. And it's a 2/4.
Yeah, they really flavor failed
it's a tree
there.
folk. Has reach. Whenever it attacks, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. It's kind of card draw. As long as it is your turn, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have retrace. You may cast permanent cards from your graveyard by discarding a land card in addition to paying their other costs. I think he's really neat. As a mono green commander, I'm not so sure he's that neat. In the 99, in certain decks, this is amazing.
Yeah, he's not really I don't know. Like, it'd be kind of weird if you put him in the commands, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like, I mean, it'd be probably a little janky, a little fun, but, like, I'm not really sure what you're going to do. Green's not really the color of, like, too many sacrifice effects. I know we have Greater Good that I just mentioned with the other card, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah, he'd be good in some kind of green-black deck of some kind.
You know where I'm putting my copy? In that deck I have, that...
Rog.
Yeah. You know, you don't have to put the lands down. I can keep a land and then, like, retrace a card and sack it next turn. It's sick.
Yeah, retracing a Demigoth Titan or something.
Yeah.
Would be pretty gross.
Just do it over and over again.
Yeah, so...
It's...
I don't think it's, like, D either, though. But I think it's, like... Like, it's a good card, but it's not really commander-worthy.
It's like
It's C, but it's not D. I don't think it's D.
it's not quite C and it's not quite D, so I think either is
Yeah,
satisfactory.
I'll put it in C because I still don't think he belongs with dog. No one belongs there. Okay, who the hell's? Oh yeah, Ulamog. I was like, what's this? What's this dude looking
What's this
ass
tentacle
guy?
man?
Ulamog the Defiler. This is one I was pretty excited for. He's 10 mana, and then when you cast him, target opponent exiles half their library, rounded up. Whoa. He has ward, sacrifice 2 permanents. That just puts a smile on my face. And then when he enters the battlefield he enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the greatest mana value among cards in exile, just period. And then he has Annihilator X, where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on it. So, like, you can already get a big pump from whatever's in Annihilator, or from whatever's in Exile. But if you're running like a +1/+1 counters deck, you can give this man a ton. Like, imagine you exile somebody's Blasphemous Act, for example. Like, he's coming down with what's it, CMC 13 or something like that? 14?
9?
9? Oh yeah. Okay. I was a little overzealous there. But still. 9. Annihilator 9.
That's pretty good.
Without any help. He does
that
on his own.
Basically doesn't exist a colorless +1/+1 counter deck.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of it. You get just a little bit of it. There's like Steel Overseer and Marthas has +1 counters, but doesn't really.
Yeah.
I agree with what you say in the 99. This card can put in a lot of work. Like if you put it in Bright Palm or something else where you're gonna like double its +1 counters or something. But like as a commander,
no,
you can put him right next to his buddy Kozilek. In my opinion,
he's right there. Yeah. No, he's not a commander. But dang, is he a strong card.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Alright, this person?
That's a person. It's got a little griffin. Nice little griffin boy. Alright, let's see if I can pronounce an umulot. Is that what that thing is called?
Is that what that thing is called? I don't know. You would know.
Kennerud. Sky Captain. We're going to go with that. 2 and a white and a blue and a black. Human, Knight, 4/4, Flying Lifelink, Ward, discard a card. Pretty good. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks, double the number of each kind of counter on it. Then, for each non-token permanent attached to it, create a token that's a copy of that permanent attached to that creature. I want to give this thing an indestructible counter and then give it another one for no reason.
And then just give it another one.
Just for reference, modified means it has a counter on it, it is enchanted, or it is equipped.
Yeah.
This is cool. It's neat. You were mentioning earlier today that you thought it should have been Mardu. And it could have been, but Esper's still cool too. That's what it is. So,
Esper's
it is Esper.
I'm alright with
I want to put this in one of my decks, but as a commander, no. But also, like, if I saw this across the table, I'd be a little, like, weary. Like, this thing might
just pop off.
Blow me out of nowhere, dude. Like, into my life.
Yeah, it's kind of what attracted me to it. It looks like something that can be pretty scary pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Veggie. I think you're probably not, I don't even know if you're familiar with this card, but he wanted to do like a jank setup with this and suggested Nerd Rage. It's that enchantment from Fallout that like gives it +10/+10 if you have 10 cards in hand or more. Something like that. And then you double it. Oh, and I think when it enters, you draw 2 cards. You draw a card.
That is correct. You draw 2 cards. Max hand size. Whenever it attacks, if you have 10 or more cards in hand, it gets +10/+10.
So when the copy enters, you'll get another 2 cards, which is not too bad, and that's 4 cards. I mean, if you're at 6 cards, that all out of nowhere could make Arna 24/24 pretty dang quick. I mean, it would be kind of weird and it's situational, but I think that was just a good example of what can happen in this deck. You can make it kind of silly, but
Yeah.
I love doubling
And
things up.
being like a
Personally.
possible Voltron-y sort of commander, the built-in evasion with the flying it's really appreciated.
Yeah, and just the lifelink is always going to be appreciated. This is where I think Lifelink's actually pretty solid here because if you're especially going to be making her Voltron, keeping that life up will keep you in the game a little longer if she's going to be really beefy. I would give this an A. I really would.
Okay.
I think she's like pretty strong. Or he.
Yeah.
I don't know who Arna is. They. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Tameo. Inquisitive Student is blue. That's what it costs for a Moonfolk Wizard. 0/3 with flying. When it attacks, investigate. That means to create a clue. When you draw your third card in a turn, exile Tameo, then return her to the battlefield transformed under her owner's control.
Not a May.
Ooh, this card is... Why is this card so expensive? I was reading the card and I noticed it was $34 pre-order. Anyway, it's Simic on the back. Comes in with 2 loyalty, +2 until your next turn. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, it gets -1/-0. -3, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. If it's green, add 1 mana of any color. That's cool. It's a mana ability that's actually a triggered activated ability. -7, draw cards equal to half the number of cards in your library, rounded up. You get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size. I don't care for this one. It's neat value. Like, I'm sure it could fit into any Simic deck and do fine, but it seems like it's not specializing anywhere that's very powerful or interesting to me, at least in Commander.
Yeah. Kind of same here.
I would put this next to Ulamog. Like, it's... Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it sucks in Commander. This is the kind of 1 mana value that I would be a little like. This is probably really good in like Modern, but
yeah,
it's not what we're here for.
Yeah, decent 99 card. Yeah, this will go into D. I really don't have much to say. I can't really defend my queen's honor or anything. So, we'll leave it at that. Hey, I get to talk about Ulalek. Fused Atrocity. He's 5 color. Or you can pay 5 colorless pips for him. Or whatever combination. Pretty sick. He's a 2/5 devoid. Whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell, you may pay 2 colorless. If you do, you copy all spells you control, then copy all other activated and triggered abilities you control. You may choose new targets for the copies. This is just doubling up everything on the stack. I mean, what can't you love about this?
He is very cool, very strong. I bet you we're going to see a lot of people, newer players, not understand how that ability works.
Yeah, they're going to be playing this incorrectly.
They're going to try to copy their own permanents that are already in play, or...
yeah. I can 100% be like, I get 2 Ulamogs now.
This is a good card, like, if you care to learn how the stack works. And that's pretty cool. We've already also talked about this before, too. This is the only commander ever where you can build 32 different colors combos, like, and it works. Like, it's built in like that. That's kind of neat. 32 deck challenge with only Ulalek.
Let's see it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Mono white Ulalek or some weird. Just like some weird stuff. You can do weird stuff with him.
You do just want to do like Eldrazi stuff, like just cast them, and then with excess mana, like just pay the 2. He's really cool. You can get dumb crazy with the stack, especially if you have something that copies his ability on top of that, like the new it's that enchantment you're super stoked for, Echoes of Eternity, because
Yeah.
it's an Eldrazi spell, even though it's an enchantment,
And
and
then you
it's
can
2.
copy that.
You
You can
copy
copy
that while you
Echoes
also
of
copy
Eternity.
while you also copy what you're casting on top of that, while you're also copying the trigger, and then copy Ululek's trigger, so you do it twice, so you end up with like 8 of like Kozilek Butcher of Truth is draw 4 ability on the stack. You end up drawing like 39 cards or something somehow, even though it's not divisible by 4.
Yeah, I think if you find a way to, it's going to be a lot even more helpful if you find a way to give yourself some flash. Some waves of casting things at flash speed will definitely increase this.
Yeah, and even without, it will do a lot of work. I think he's very well designed, and even though he is sort of like,
he's complex, but
he is complex, and even though he is just Eldrazi, he I feel like it brings it to the next level of like cool. I am comfortable in A or even bottom of S. I think he's neat as heck.
He's really, really, really neat. My heart is saying A.
Then let's say A.
We'll give it A.
Like again,
he's probably my favorite.
If you're this far,
personally,
if you're this far, this is like our list based not just on power, but like how much we really like him.
Yeah,
like it's pretty cool, design wise, everything wise. 2 cards left. This is a long video.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one.
Thanks for watching, you guys who are still here, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Patreon for more content like this, more Hot Wings content. That'll be out by the time this comes out.
7 a.m, and me and Howie are talking about commander cards. Woo!
Coram the Undertaker, secondary commander for the Jund Precon. He is 1 and a Jund that's black, red, and green. He's a 0/5. He gets +X/+O, where X is the greatest power among creature cards in all graveyards. When he attacks, each player mills a card, and during each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a spell from among cards in graveyards that were put there from libraries this turn. This is the most Jund generic.
It's really generic,
like card I've ever seen. I think if you sent me just the text of this card, I could have told you its exact mana value.
Yeah, be like, this is 1 and a Jund, Levi.
Like honestly, and that's cool. Like, he's not like super crazy. There's a couple crazy things you can do. Like if you had Lord of Extinction, who I believe his power is equal to the number of cards in all graveyards combined. This guy could end up being like a 50/50 or something, or 55, whatever. Like, that's kind of cool, but like, he's Jund. He's not super interesting to me, so I would put him at C. He's definitely like, he could definitely be powerful in like a B sense, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's not particularly too crazy interesting. There might be something that really freaks me out of nowhere, and he just gets crazy. I feel
like it's not intentional, but like when I see a Jund commander, you just got to compare him to Korvold. And I'm not saying he does the same thing as Korvold, but like, for 1 more mana, I can have like this monstrosity in the command.
Yeah. Very true. Korvold just is the Jund commander. He is the gatekeeper of Jund commanders.
Him and Windgrace, and nothing else has ever seemed to matter.
Yeah.
I'd say C or B. Your call.
I think just because his big brothers are just he's hard to climb that ladder. It's hard for him to climb that ladder, so
he's got to say under because he's the Undertaker.
He's the Undertaker. Wow, what a great joke.
The last
one, which before technical difficulties, we didn't actually have him in here, but now we do. We forgot about him. Sorry. I'm looking for him in my list. Hold on. Oh yeah, Shilgengar. Shilgengar, Sire of Famine. He's 3 black black for a 6/6. Legendary creature, Elder Demon. This has S tier art, by the way.
I've been waiting for you for like. I make it sound like I've been waiting a long time, but I was like laser focused on. I was going to comment on how metal this art is. He's sitting on a throne of angel wings.
So cool.
Dude,
I love that.
It's so cool.
It's
Does he have a little candle on his head? He's just got a little piece of flame.
Yeah, he's got a little flame, or at least. I don't know exactly.
His art is cool. Go on.
But yeah, he has flying, and sacrifice another creature, create a blood token. If you sacrificed an angel this way, create a number of blood tokens equal to its toughness instead. And then for 3 hybrid black and white pips, sacrifice 6 blood tokens, return each creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Those creatures are vampires in addition to their other types. I think this deserves a flavor win as well. Shilgengar gives me this impression, correct me if I'm wrong, that he likes to kill angels. So I love the idea that you're getting rewarded for killing your own angels, and then they all at once just come back to fight for him. I think it's the art and the actual style is a win for this commander.
Yeah, he's sick. I'm not super familiar with the lore, but I think that this is has something to do with Innistrad and like maybe the creation of vampires on there due to killing angels or something. I don't know. It's
probably.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets S tier flavor, S tier art.
Something that's underrated on him, I think. At least I don't know if it was underrated by me the first time I read it. Is that he has a built-in sacrifice ability with no cost. The cost is to sacrifice a creature.
You're just creating a blood token. You just create one. It's freaking sick.
You can abuse that. I'm not sure how, but I have a feeling that this deck is going to be really good. I think it's going to be really good.
I mean, there's that brand new black creature that just is also coming out. The one that sacrifices a creature, pay 1 life, make a tapped treasure token.
Oh, that
might go
absolutely busted. That thing, whatever.
Thing might go
the zombie too. Wizard, goblin.
Yeah, it's all the relevant creatures. So, yeah.
No, I think that this card is really neat, and the more I read it, the more I like it. I want to put it
same here.
I want to put it at B, but I feel like if you ask me in a year after I've seen this deck a couple times, I would probably put it at A later. Like I feel like I'm putting it wrong when I put it at B. Honestly,
I'm in your same boat here.
The first time I read this to you, I was like, dude, check out this card. It's kind of dumb, but it's neat. Look at those wings.
You know, I was feeling the same way. I don't know if maybe, like, it was just you just told me how to feel or something. I don't know.
Maybe it's that Orzhov just sucks and it's lame and I've never liked it.
Yeah, Orzhov can be kind of lame. But this, though, this is kind of neat. Like, there's no way it's going to be all that high of a power, but I like the game plan. He's just got a cool quest in his text. Like it's a quest, you know?
He might somehow be really strong. I think that he's going to be really good.
There's some really good angels. I mean, there's some of the older creature types in the format. Like you got Lyra. That's a good angel right there. You got Avacyn.
Like something else that's cool, even though it would be very mana intensive, is that a lot of angels they're bigger creature types. Like they're usually not like little goblin-y status. They're usually like dragon status, like their stat lines. So you can probably sacrifice one angel and have the blood tokens you need to activate the last ability.
Yeah.
And return your entire graveyard to the battlefield.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think it would be a bad idea to run some like entomb type effects and just entomb some really good angels.
Oh yeah, Buried Alive. Buried Alive's getting reprinted in the set. It's just in
Buried
2x3.
Alive. If you're into that sort of stuff, maybe some self-mill, because all you really need to do is probably sacrifice maybe one, maybe two angels, and then you're set up for your next turn to like make a bunch.
Honestly, through this small conversation we had, I want to put him at A and maybe bring him down to B in a year.
Yeah, let's give him an A. I talked myself into it.
Same.
Well, that was a wild ride. The definitive MH3 Commanders tier list. We didn't include that one red creature. I don't even know its name. But we didn't. Skoa. Yeah, it's not made for Commander. That's all I'm going to say about it. But
Ember Mage.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with this.
You feel good about this?
I feel good about it.
Let me make my screen bigger. I got a little screen, guys.
he reads on a Nokia
to help me buy a bigger screen.
He reads on a Nokia, guys.
Let's see here. That's a pretty good S list. A. We put Aladomri at A. Yeah, I don't think I like that one.
I was looking at that too, and then I was like, did we really do that? But
did we really do that?
It cheats it out.
That was like an hour ago. I want to put him at B. And then I feel really good about this list.
Yeah, because it was. I think it's because we were like, oh, it's pretty strong. It can probably hang like with all these other ones. I think we were looking at its power a little more. Yeah. We'll go it down to B. I'm actually kind of there with you.
Yeah. This feels like a more definitive list than we have ever put out from MH3. This is better.
This is it.
This is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, join our Patreon, check out more Hot Wings content in the future, and I don't know, let us know what you think. Do you disagree with any of these choices we've made? And yeah, that's all I got, man.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a wonderful day.